Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory as Roma lose the derby against Lazio and get thrown out, eliminated out of the Coppa Italia. Our journey ends in the quarterfinals with a loss, 1-0 loss against Lazio. This is your match reaction. And I'm going to start off by saying that this is unacceptable. That, in fact, as you can probably read from today's title, this has to stop. Because I have had enough of seeing this team not play football in big games. I have reached that point where I have genuinely given up watching this team don't play these games. Don't do anything for big games in these big games. Not having a clue of what to do in these big games. I've had enough of this. So I'm tired of this, and this is unacceptable because I'm gonna repeat this again, but I have reached that stage where I just can't watch these big games anymore. I just cannot watch these big games anymore because this team hasn't got a fucking clue of what to do in these big games. There are several problems, a lot of very serious several problems at this football club. And one of them is exactly this. One of this is the reaction and the way we play and the way we react and the way we perform in these games. You know, this is the first thing that is wrong at this football club. Because I have never seen this team just completely ignore these big games more than this current squad. Not even last season. This time round, this season is just yeah. I am lost for words of how to describe the way we feel these big games. And I've already asked myself this question after the Bologna game. Do we care? Do these players care? And I think it's more complicated than that. I think it's, what do these players do during training sessions? Do these players learn and train on how to cross a ball? Because every time they cross a ball in a football game, it never goes well. Do these players know how to pass the ball? Do they train on how to pass the ball? Because we make mistakes that not even a football team of under 14s makes. And most importantly, the thing which has to be said is this. Not having tactics, not playing in these big games, leaving off fights and red cards, and placing 5 strikers at the end of a football game in a hope that one of them might head it in and score is not football, is beyond football. That's what, I've said this in the fan forum on WhatsApp already. That is what I see on a Saturday morning in my local park when a team of under-8 kids organize a football game. That, in my opinion, is not football. See however you want to see it, but the way we perform in these big games is not football to me. Because a team that lives off fights and red cards and always feels as if they need to be dickheads, otherwise the manager won't be happy. Only crossing the ball for 90 minutes. No creativity whatsoever, and all of that is not football to me. That is not what I consider football. And so we either change that now or bye-bye. Because it's not working out. We are not watching, what am I saying? It's not working out. It's not bringing good results. And it's not bringing us 3 points in big games. So one thing is, well, okay, we live off that style of football because it's bringing results. It's bringing games. It's bringing points. It's bringing glory. And I would understand that. I would go, look, at the end of the day, what's their name? Barcelona last season won a league title because they kept on winning 2-0, 2-1, 1-0, 1-0. But it's not bringing us anywhere. This style of football is not bringing us anywhere. And forget about the past. Because yes, okay, we've lifted a Conference League. Yes, okay, we've reached the Europa League final. But I have to be honest with you, I don't give a shit about the past. I care about the present and the future. And this way of playing is not working out. Do I expect it changing? No, I don't. It's not going to change. Because I expected it to change in Jose's first season and it didn't change. So I'm not expecting it to change. But if you don't change it, this is what you get. You know, I ended that live watch along. I opened the door and the first thing my father said is, in 56 years of my life, I have never seen a Rome derby where Roma only had one shot on target. And he is absolutely right. How do we expect to win games, to score in games, if we only shoot once on target? What do we expect? Does it take a E equals MC squared Einstein genius to figure that out? Or can we look at this now? It's not working out. So there is, and I've said this in the match preview, losing this derby means falling into a turmoil. And oh boy, we've fallen into a turmoil. Open up those Instagram posts and read all those comments. It's terrible. Losing a derby is terrible. And we've got Milan on Sunday at San Siro in Milan. Come on. I've had enough hoping for these big games. We're going to lose that game. Oh boy, we're going to lose that game. Yes, we're going to lose that game. Because we're going to play the same game as we did today. But Milan are going to score first. And Milan are going to kill the game. And we're going to lose that game. And that's going to be another big game that we don't win. But I'm not here to speak about the future. I'm here to speak about the present. Out of the Coppa Italia, do I mind? It's not the fact that we're out of the Coppa Italia. It's the fact that we lost the derby. And if you're a real fan, it should be this that pisses you off, not the fact that we're out of a tournament, which would have probably been the only tournament that we would lift this season. Because, playing like this, we ain't lifting Europa League. And playing like this, most importantly, we're not getting top 4. And if that's the case, then there needs to be a revolution at the end of the season. What can I say more? Look, I've said this in the live watch along, but I think it's a very big point. There are two problems at this football club. The first problem is who do you blame for the first problem, and who's responsible for the first problem is Pinto and Dan Fredkin. And the first problem is that we have based this project on injury-prone players. And we have centralized this project on a player that guarantees you no more than 4 months of action in a regular season. So that's number one. Because I agree that the manager can't do much if he doesn't have the defenders, if Dybala's always injured, if Pellegrini's always injured, if Llorente's always injured, if Smalling's dead. I agree that the manager can't do much if the only fit players are Mancini, Cristante and Lukaku, and the rest all get injured once in a while. I agree. But it is also true, and this is something which I want to stress, because there are so many people around the Roma environment right now which aren't Roma fans and are Mourinho fans. And I see this every day when I open Twitter. According to these fans, who aren't Roma fans, may I repeat, Mourinho is never wrong. And that's wrong. That's you not knowing anything about football. Because yes, the position we're in is not 100% Mourinho's fault, but it would be ridiculous and embarrassing for anybody here to say that the manager has got no blame and responsibility on this. Because why the fuck is it that in these past 3 years we haven't won one big game? It's because of the tactics. It's not because the players are shit. Bologna win big games and they've got posh in defence. Fiorentina win big games and they don't have a better team than us. Frosinone win big games once in a while. Lazio win big games and I don't think Lazio have got a better team than us. So, Yannick, you're an absolute legend. Thank you very much for gifting memberships. You are an absolute legend. Nick Rotas, thank you. You're an absolute legend. Gifted 10 Roma Theory memberships. So you're an absolute legend, mate. Thank you very much for this. That is the other problem. The problem is this. Injury-prone player project. Add it and mix it up with the fact that our tactics are shit and that we don't play football. This is what you get. Now again, please, I don't want the non-Roma fans to, again, as I've seen many times, this guy wants Mourinho out because Roma lost a game. That's not what I am saying. And if you're saying that, you're wrong. Am I blaming the manager? Yes, I am. Do I want the manager sacked? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the manager has responsibilities in this. The manager has faults in this. And I don't care if I broke the soul of 120 Mourinistas, as they are so called. Unsubscribe. You're not going to worsen my day. This is it. We play terrible football in these games. We play terrible football in these games. And again, I am desperately trying to... I desperately want to see changes. But I know that these changes won't happen. Because I know that this is the identity. And I know it won't change. But I think it's wrong not to change it. Because, look, I'd said this at the start of the season. We're not going to make top 4. We're not going to make top 4. And I don't want to sound dramatic just because we lost the derby. He's pissed just because... I'm trying to be real here. I'm trying to set expectations on a real level here. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I might be wrong at the end of the season. I would love to be wrong. But we are not going to make top 4. Because teams who make top 4 win big games. And lads, I'm sorry, but this team doesn't win big games. I am very sorry if I say this. I'm very sorry if I broke the hearts. But we don't win big games. Because a big team would have won today. Lazio didn't create more than us. They definitely created more chances than us. And the penalty was a clear penalty. So I'm not saying that Lazio didn't deserve to win. Lazio deserved to win today. But why is it? It's because we let them be better than us. So, a good team would have won that Atalanta game. Yes, we were very unlucky, but a good team, a team who knows what to do on that football pitch, would have won that Atalanta game. A team which knows what to do on that pitch, has pre-established tactics, and isn't too dependent on Paulo Dybala, would have won the Fiorentina game, which ended 1-1. A team which is less scared to attack, a team which is less concentrated and less obsessed on the defensive side and is brave to try and score, is brave to try and attack and create chances, wouldn't have lost that Juventus game in Turin. And yes, okay, it's normal to lose some games, but we are in a stage where, and if you follow match previews and all of that, you know this. Recently, I never have predicted Roma to win a big game because I know my team too well, lads. You can hate me, you can call me whatever you want, But the one thing that I will never accept is people saying that I'm not a real fan. I turn up to that stadium every fucking week. I go live speaking about this team, and I live in the city of this team for the past 18 years. I know this team. I know this team. I know the DNA of this team. And I know, as a matter of fact, that a team who is more brave to attack, a team who is less scared to lose games, and a team who is more established on the tactics and more well trained on the tactics, I can guarantee you that we wouldn't have lost today. I miss the good old times when we used to dominate the derby. I miss this. I mean, it amazes me that the last derby we won was in 2022. It amazes me that Mourinho's only won one derby against Sarri, and that Sarri is outclassing Mourinho around the Rome derby. It amazes me. It amazes me that all of a sudden we're not dominating these games anymore. I grew up with Roma dominating the Rome derby. You know, I grew up with this fixture not being a close fixture because we were just too good for them. You know, I grew up with players who wanted to win the derby. I didn't grow up with players who were scared to lose a derby. I grew up with players who wanted to win the derby and weren't scared to lose a derby. And now all I see is a mess. All I see is a team, as I said before, who's scared to lose. And if a team is scared to lose, a team will not attack. And if a team doesn't attack, a team doesn't score. And if a team doesn't score, a team doesn't win. You know, again, you can blame a lot of things. The two things that I blame are tactics and therefore managers' responsibility. Yes, the players are shit, but a lot of these players are better than your average Lazio players. And yes, Lazio, I'm not going to say dominated us, but definitely deserved the win more than us today. It's not just about the players. You know, yes, I know a lot of people don't have the balls to criticize Mourinho, but it's not just about the players being weak. It's not just about the ownership not having the money to spend and the FFP sanctions. Sometimes you got to look at the broader picture and say that the way we play is dreadful and that this way of playing is bringing us nowhere. And it's the reason why we've lost 3 consecutive derbies in a row. Sorry, we've lost 3 out of the 4 last derbies. But yeah, look, we've got Milan on Sunday. We're going to definitely prepare for that game. But again, do I have expectations? No, I don't. Because I think we're going to lose that game too. Especially after a lost derby. You know, fans have turned against the team. Fans have turned against the manager. It's never easy to digest a lost derby in terms of the momentum, in terms of the mentality. So, look, I've got nothing more to say. You know, I feel like I say the same things every time we lose a game. But the thing which amazes me the most is the fact that I really am not exaggerating when I say that these players don't have a clue on what to do. And I then ask myself, why is that? You know, these players have been training together for the past 3 seasons. It cannot be possible under the law of a human being that these players can't string 3 passes together and that these players can't cross a ball. That's the problem. These players have been training together for 3 seasons, for 3 years, and they make mistakes that I don't know. That just a group of rhinoceros would it even make. It's tough. We lost the derby. We're going to wake up tomorrow knowing that we lost the derby and all of my Lazio friends mocking. But it is what it is. And we'll see what happens. Forza Roma sempre. A lot of things and a lot of improvements have to be made. Talk to you soon. Simo out.